Hey, welcome to the Go Find Nervous Show. I'm your host, Jake Bolig. I'm happy to have our guest today. Actually, I'm excited for our guest today. Let me give you a small introduction before we get right into it. So this is a guy who manages a team at probably like a Fortune 100 size company. A leader when I think of him, somebody with great mindset, discipline, mental toughness, a guy I've always thought of and looked at as somebody that is willing to get dirty and willing to do what it takes to make things happen. So I'm super stoked for our guest today, Sean Flanders. Sean, welcome to the show, man.
I appreciate you having me on, man. Excited.
Yeah, cool, man. Cool. Hey, so I want to talk real briefly to give some context for the audience. You talking about Go Find Nervous. After 9/11 happened, you're like, I'm gonna go be an Air Marshal, and then you jumped onto that adventure. And
Right.
Tell me about that a little bit for context for the audience of how your willingness to go find nervous is a part of your life.
Okay. After 9/11 happened, I had a year and a half left of school. That's what I was majoring in as far as sociology with some criminology involved.
Yeah.
And after, just had the patriotic spirit like everybody else at that time. So I started applying through DEA, FBI, all the, agencies.
Yeah.
And then Air Marshal stuff opened up and I applied. And within a matter of a month or so, got an interview and was on board in New York City working as an Air Marshal, flying out of both airports and trying to protect the, everybody on board, I guess.
Dude, man, that's I love that story. It's just like, it's amazing how we do that in life where we're in one place and then we look up 30 days later, we're in a different place. But I know the discipline and the mindset that you use for that duty and that job, you've carried with you for life and back into sports, like I talked about briefly in the introduction, all the way up until now. You're big into youth sports with your daughters. And that's what I want to talk about today in this, 15 minutes we have here is the mindset, the mental toughness, the discipline that goes into kids, maybe what they're missing. And what do you see as a parent for, teach mindset and discipline?
Okay. Great topic. I'm excited to talk about because the number one issue I see nowadays is fear of failure. As a parent, you never want to see your kid fail. So I understand that aspect, but the mindset that, that I grew up with, and I know you grew up with, and playing sports and you carry through your life is there's going to be challenges. Mm-hmm. And, we don't know and we don't see what we don't see. So you're never going to reach your potential. You're never going to reach the top of the mountain of what you want to do in life, whether it's sports or being a doctor, whatever. It takes hard work and discipline. Mm-hmm. And I've tried to teach my kids that through, since they started playing sports. They're big into soccer right now. And, that mindset of fear of failure is I think is hurting because parents are not wanting to put their kids in vulnerable situations in order for them to fail, which in turn, if they fail now early, they will learn and it'll be so much better for them. So that's kind of what my focus has been with my kids.
Yeah, I know that you have some big plans coming up for one of your daughters, and we were talking off camera about it. We're going to talk about that here in just a few minutes. But what do you do? How can you put your kid in a position that they can fail and it's okay? Because I think a lot of people don't know the practicality of it, like how to actually do it and let that happen. How do you do it with your mindset?
It's just doing it, but that's the simple answer.
Yeah.
But there, like for it helped for me and my wife to have it. My wife is a coach and played soccer and college. Like she knew the game. I from the mindset of I understand, and I'm a parent, so I'm biased, but I'm also realistic. Right. So I understand. Take my oldest daughter. She's always been bigger. She's always been stronger. Just that is the gift she has, right? Mm-hmm. But the other side, she was not gifted with I call type 2, microfiber, quick reflexes, stability. Like that was not her. Okay. So speed, agility, all that stuff. That is stuff that we had to work on. So we understood that. So how do you do that? Well, running over people when you're younger is great. Meaning, in soccer, going to get the ball, you're just bigger than a kid, no ill intent. It just happens. You get it because they bounce off you.
Yeah.
We understood, my wife and I, that's not going to work down the road. So we ended up, whether it's speed and agility camps or putting on a team and that's my big thing. If you want to know the answer, I would want my kid involved. Let me put them on a team where they're not number one. I want them to be somewhere in the middle where they're gaining confidence because they're say being people, but they're excelling. But then there's always people better than them because it gives them something to focus on, something to learn from. So you get that failure, but then you get that success at the same time. So my big thing is we didn't want our child to be number one on a team.
Interesting.
Because we just knew that what is pushing her? Size and ability is great. That's just a blessing.
Yeah.
But that ain't your life. That's not going to work forever. So you need to get footwork, and you need to get foot skills, and you need to be light on your feet because she has heavy feet and all. We understood that. So we put her in uncomfortable situations,
That's interesting.
speed camps and different teams and tryouts and different things that made her have to like adapt. And again, I go back to, you only see what you see. If I just put her and kept her in team A and you're excelling, we would not know what's out there. She would not know like, oh, wow, I might be good at this, but there's a whole other level that I have to get to.
Right.
So that's why I always tell people, they've asked me many times recently, what have you done with her? What do you, and I always tell them, you got to be willing to fail. And that's my big thing in discussing that. So,
man, I love that. It like get in uncomfortable situations, actively go look for those situations. And that's what I hear. Because if you're on an island, then you're the best whatever on an island, soccer player on an island of 400 people, and you never go look outside of it. Then you go to a big place where they're practicing all the time. You're going to get worked. And it's not even your fault. You just didn't even know. Or I guess it could be your fault if you don't go seek it. But I love that. It's like, we don't know what we don't know. So what does your daughter think about this? What's her mindset as a child?
She loves it. Again, you have to know your child, and as parents, and her being our first, we have two, but she has the mindset of, she got the early taste of it by having size. So she played soccer. We put her in different sports and she did different things, but soccer she loved. She would score goals all the time. She always had a knack for scoring goals. Yeah. One, hey, I run to it, even though I wasn't the fastest, but I get to it, people bounce off me and I score. So, she had that success. So she always, and, that's what she gravitated towards. So having early success helps, but she's always had that work ethic where I could push her. I'm not always easy, but I could push her and put her in situations, and she never quit. She just pushed through, and she loves it. And she's the one that came to us and was like, this is what I want to do. And these are my goals. Yeah. At a younger, she's 10 at a young age, but it was, and she's not, hey, I just want to do this. It was, and I say you have to know your kids, because my youngest has that natural speed that like totally different than my other one. Yeah. She's tall too, but she has that athletic ability right away. You could tell. Yeah. But I don't know. She's only 7. I don't know at this time, does she have the drive yet? Does she have that? So I handle her a little different than I do my oldest. So, that's one thing, is you don't want to push them, but you have to, and somewhat. So there's a balance.
And the reason I say that is because, just like you said, you have to push them. Kids are adaptable. Like, humans are so much more adaptable than we give ourselves credit for. Like, we can, become a part of most situations and adapt to the situations. I know for me, I do a lot of training, like running barefoot and stuff like that. And it's amazing how the body just reacts so quickly. And it's like, wait a second, my body is a lot tougher than I think it is. And I think a lot of people nowadays probably are so soft, thinking that you're going to hurt somebody, you're going to hurt some feelings, you're going to hurt some, some muscles or something like that. But we're so adaptable. How did you develop that mindset of like, I'm tough, I'm disciplined? How did you come about that?
I'm very cynical. I should say that's uh, the don't trust anybody mindset. It's, people said it and you laugh it off, but in my mind is going through sports. You've known this too. At the end of the day, and it's very harsh to say, but nobody cares. And that's kind of my mindset. I even tell my kids, and it's very harsh, but you are who you are, and people like you, like, okay, soccer wise, and this is what I'm talking about sports wise,
Yeah.
because of what you can do for them. I mean, yes, people like you, and I don't want to,
Yeah.
I'm probably not saying it in the right way.
No. I'm with you. I'm following you real close. Yeah. You got a tight circle of people. Keep going.
Yeah. There's a tight circle, your family, your friends, everybody. Great job. Okay. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you're a number, and you only, I saw something posted recently. Some guy, I forgot who it was saying like, and nobody's going to believe in you until you do something, until you put in the work. And all the stuff people don't see. That's what I tell my oldest that wants to excel and be a pro soccer player and all that. No one's going to see all the work.
Yeah.
They're just seeing like, oh, this girl scores goals, or, oh, look at that kick, or this or that. But they don't see all the broken foot you had. You went through COVID. Like, they don't see the stuff that we've been through.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, what I try to tell them in the mindset is nobody cares though. They just want to see Peyton out there scoring goals and doing this and that. And that's it. So you have to have a mindset, I think, is I'm going to do my best. And that's all. That's why I always tell her too, you got to run your own race.
Yeah.
Can't be looking what this person, that person does. You can do the best you can, but at the end of the day, it's got to be you that does it, because nobody else is going to be, pulling for you. So, I mean,
that's really interesting. There's a lot of truth to that. Most people don't see behind it. Well, the majority of people do not see behind the scenes. They don't see the work, just like you said, just to reiterate what you said. And at the end of the day, we really just have to have it in ourselves to do it for us almost. And it sounds selfish, but there's nothing wrong with being selfish either. I think there's a big misnomer that selfish is bad. Selfish is not bad. Selfish is only bad if in certain applications, but you got to take it, the onus to do things and make things happen. So what is, I mean, we only have 4 minutes left here. You have something coming up.
Right.
I love to support you and what you do. I think you got a great mind, great ideas, great vision for different projects. What is this? Tell me a little bit about what you got coming up.
The light hit, said, bam, that's what I got coming up right there.
We had a power outage in Phoenix.
But no, what I'm doing is I like we were talking about my oldest. She is just now doing select soccer this year. So really quick in Texas, the way it works is, you can start when you're 4 or 5, you play rec, but then you get into academy soccer if you want to. That's where it's like competitive. Mm-hmm. But from all the way up to like 10 years old, you could just switch teams. You pay your money. I don't want this. I don't want that. You have the option. Yeah. But once you get to select, you have to sign a contract. So this is her first year doing it. Okay. And she came to us not to we told her about how hard it's going to be and this and that to for her to excel, you're going to have to do this and this. And she came to us and said, I want to be a pro soccer player. I don't care what it takes, this and that. So long story short, we told her, if you want to do this, we will invest in you. And the way we will do this is we would do one-on-one training, speed and agility. Mm-hmm. We will do, you're going to do individual stuff with, outside of your practices, basically. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm documenting all this. And what I'm going to do is, and I'm posting it. She has a social media account or Instagram, documenting throughout. And then I'm going to put together all the footage. And once tryouts comes next year, going to do like hey, this is where you started. This is where you're at. This is the journey. So again, then people can see all the work it takes to get to here. Mm. So basically, I'm just building a little mini documentary through all this that we're going to do.
Dude, I love that idea, man. That's going to be big. I'm going to definitely tune in. Where can people go follow? Is there a way that people can follow that journey? Or I know it's not out yet, but how
Right.
can people find you or find that journey when it comes out?
So on Instagram, we control it, but Peyton has her own Instagram. It's PEY 9_2011.
Mhm.
That's her Instagram account. So post all her stuff there. Mine is S Flanders 9. So
Awesome.
you could find our stuff on there, and we
Okay.
just post, right now it's just tidbits, games. We always film. Our oldest, our youngest two, has one. So that's Roars, RORS 79 on Instagram too. But we do that. And again, we do it for different, like I said, when I talked about that nobody cares, it's for a journey, not the destination. Yeah. So I'm going to try to document as much as I can, and then put together something for the kids like, hey, this is the journey. This is where you started. This is where you end. And who knows what's going to happen in life, man. But it's always good to have.
Well, I think it's going to be cool. I know I'm going to look for it. And if there's anything I can do to support you, obviously I'm going to do that to support you. I know we had a short amount of time here. We had power outages. We've had a lot of stuff going on as far as like nobody knows what's going on behind the scenes. But man, I just want to say I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate your mentality. I appreciate just the way you live life, brother. So come on anytime. And I appreciate you being here today.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on, Jake. It's good talking to you.
All right, brother. We'll see you soon.
All right, man.
All right. Hey, one last thing before you go, leave a comment. Which example did you most align with from today's show? I'm curious. I want to know. Also, if there's somebody that you want to find out what's made them nervous, leave their name in the comment. I'll try to get them on the show. Follow me on social media at Jake Bolig. Follow the show at Go Find Nervous. And if you don't mind, subscribe. It helps me out the whole algorithm thing. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Go Find Nervous.